Hello, it's Melinda from Alexis and Melinda's Art Space. Another art journal page today. I should swap and do some other sort of craft, shouldn't I? But art journaling makes me happy lately. So working in my altered book, so this is a raw page, so I haven't gessoed or anything on the page, it's just the pages from the book. And decided to play with these little birdie sprays that I grabbed from Lincraft last time they had 40% off. Don't know whether I like them or not. The colours aren't as bright as the packaging seems, apart from the yellow, that's super bright. But yeah, I thought they might work a lot like the dilution sprays, which I haven't actually tried, but no. They're okay, and I'll use them up, but they're not exactly what I thought they would be like. The colours seem to muddy up a bit more than I thought they would. So just spraying it on and dabbed it onto a couple of just pages from my notebook just to blop up the excess ink and drying it off. What I found is when you dry these colours, they actually went quite muted. Like when they were wet, they were quite dry. So there I'm just spraying through my Jewel of the Sea stencil. Jewels of the Sea, I think I've called that one on my website. Excuse my head getting in the way. And while there was ink on the top of the stencil, I stamped it onto the back of the stencil. So just working on a background, didn't really know where I was going with this art journal page, and a lot of my art journal pages are like that. I just start throwing stuff on the page and 90% of it gets covered up, but that's okay. I sat down in my art journal, I had fun, I took time out of my day. So I decided to use some stamped images from, I believe these are Dina Wakley faces, and the crowns I believe are a Dina Wakley set as well. It could be a Delusion set, the stamped crowns. I think the stamped crowns are Delusions and the faces are Dina Wakley. So they're stamped on like greaseproof paper or tracing paper, aka deli paper. Basically it almost disappears and you only see the stamped text. So to get the faces going different directions, I actually stamped the two outside ones on the top of the paper and then flipped the paper over and stamped on the back of the paper to get the reverse effect of the face, because I wanted the faces looking different ways, which I quite like that technique. I saw that on YouTube quite a while ago. And then I decided, what am I going to do? The faces didn't really have bodies and I couldn't be bothered drawing bodies, so I went through my cutout of magazines that I sat on a train for 5 hours one day and fussy cut all these magazine images. Everyone thought I was absolutely silly, but hey, it filled in 5 hours on the train. So these hands were out of magazines, and I collected these hands and they had jewellery on them and beautiful bits. So when I'm flicking through magazines, I just pull out things that inspire me and I like. So I flick through the magazine quite quickly and pull out things that catch my attention, and they all get fussy cut and put in a bag, and then they're ready to stick on at some other stage. So I decided to put one fat hand in front of all the faces, so the person's hiding their identity or sort of peeking through, I don't know. I purposely sort of got the eyes to pop through the hands. So then I decided that I didn't like the background and the faces being the same, so I thought, well, let's throw some black gesso at the page. What I was using to add the images and the hands is Little Birdie Matte Gel Medium. Now it is matte, but it is a little glossy, so hence why the shine is on the page. It's lost a bit of its shine now once it dries, but it is quite shiny, and the hands from the magazine page are shiny as well. So just blacking in the background with some black paint. This is a good technique to do if you want something behind a figure or behind a stamp. Basically do all your page, because I didn't know where I was sticking stuff, and then I can paint in the background. So I do like how this one has turned out. This wasn't a challenge or anything, it was just me sitting down and playing. I'm doing that a lot more lately. I think I'm getting a bit more confident in my art journal page. Sometimes I get to pages and I get stuck and I don't know what I want to do. Hence why the challenges are good. But this one sort of came together. I sort of sparked an idea off an idea off an idea, which was good. So just painting in the background with black, and it really made the figures stand out. I'm really happy with how that worked out. And I was able to sort of cover the necks with the hands so the heads don't look like they're floating. I don't like things floating on my page. I'm a bit, yes, things have to be up the right way and things have to be around the right way, and they can't really be floating in midair on my page. That sort of bugs me about art journaling. Not on anyone else's pages. Apparently I can tolerate it on their pages, but I just don't like it on mine. I know, I'm weird. So I think I was using Dina Wakley black gesso for that. And here I'm mixing up some white and pink paint, I believe. I didn't want the stenciling to be like one tone, so I am mixing up white and pink paint. I'm using quite a heavy body paint, so a thicker paint, and it goes under the stencil quite well. This book is quite lumpy, so it's not stenciling on a flat surface. I'm obviously going to get another sponge or do something, sorry about that. So I won't get a crisp, clear impression, so the paint will leak under a bit because I can't get this book really, really flat now. I'm nearly 3/4 of the way through the book, and as you can imagine, it's getting quite sort of lumpy and bumpy, especially where I'm sticking things on. So this is a great stencil to use. I do sell this one in my store, and my store link is always below for my website. This one's a great one because you can actually do larger areas with it, so it's a repeating pattern, so you can just keep matching it up on the last row, either on the side or on the top, and stencil a large area. So I do like how that has turned out. It's sort of like a wallpaper effect. It's like mermaid scales, but I made them sort of a bit different, like jewels, sort of. I don't know. I do like that stencil. I've been using it a lot. This year, at the end of 2019 and 2020, I'm endeavouring to use my stuff more. My stencils, my chipboard, and stuff like that. I suppose by the time I design it, I package it. I cut it, I package it, and I go and sell it. I'm sort of sick of the sight of it. It's nice to play with other people's things. I don't know, I'm weird like that. But I am going to make it the effort to play with more of my things. So I grabbed my favourite tool in my art kit, my Stabilo Oil Pencil, which is a water-soluble pencil that draws over anything. So it's great to draw over paint, matte gel medium, and things like that. And then you can activate it with water, which you'll see me do in a few minutes. And it really gives it a nice black shadow. So I shadow a lot of my images, and it makes them look as if they've got depth and they're not just stuck on the page. So I'm just having trouble with my glasses fogging up. I'll take them off for a minute and I won't be able to see a damn thing. I can't see much on the computer screen anyway with the small screen. So then I decided to grab a paint pen, and this is one of my Chalkola paint pens by the look of it. So just doing a bit of outlining of some of the squares. You could use a Posca paint pen or any sort of paint pen, acrylic paint pen. Jane Davenport's got some really nice ones out, and I'm eager to actually get a set of those to try, which will be fun. But I'm trying to use what I have at the moment. So once these paint pens run out, I might be able to go get some more, but I'm trying not to have several versions of the same thing in my stash that do the same thing. There's probably no point in doing that. And it just means my stash is a whole lot bigger and things don't get used up. And I'm trying to use up things and not let them waste and go off. Like I've had some paints dry out and things, which really irritates me because you're throwing money away. Then I decided there was not much white on the page. I struggle with white space. I tend to cover everything up. So again, one of the Chalkola white paint pens. Some chalk paint pens are really chalky and rub off, but these ones are really cool. You've heard me mention them a lot. I got them for like $1 a packet when Amazon first came to Australia a couple of years ago. If you joined up to be a Prime member, you could order these packets of pens for $1 and have them shipped out for free. So I grabbed a sort of one of every variety. I've used some of them. I've misplaced some of them. I've got to go find them as well. So that was really cool. So these ones aren't chalky, which is really nice. So I've got some cheaper ones. Apologise about the yawning. I do have some cheaper chalk pens and like paint pens, and you have to seal them with hairspray because the chalkiness does come off. But these ones seem to work really well and don't come off. They're more like an acrylic paint than a chalk. So just giving that a good old dry because it is acrylic paint coming out. It just come out wet and stay wet for a little while until you give it a dry. Wish my hands moved this quick in real life. So here I went away and got some wording. So I will bring my art journal closer to me and I'll read out the wording. So the ones I'm sticking down at the moment says, allow your smile to change your life. So that was cut out of a magazine. And then I've got on the bottom right hand side, left hand side, that was the bottom right hand side. Bottom left hand side is free your mind. And then I've started to use some large print books to cut some really cool phrases out of. So there's a large print book just showing you that I was cutting it out. So only 5 minutes, even as she spoke, she knew she would have said nothing. She usually wouldn't, but things were constantly pushing past her mind and out. So that was cut from a couple of pages. So it's fun to cut out little sentences and put quirky things together. That's just a fun thing I'm doing at the moment. And I find the large print books are a nice size on my journals. The normal size novels are too small in the size of print. Yes, I could go and type stuff like that at my computer, but it's the fun of trying to work within the couple of pages of text I pull out and make something work. It's fun. So here I'm just activating the Stabilo oil pencil. Really like this effect because it does make the hands stand out from the faces. So the hands are being brought to the foreground, the faces are sort of the middle ground, and the background is obviously the background. So I really like that effect with the Stabilo oil pencil. You don't need a lot of water. The more water you add, the more diluted it becomes, and it's a bit harder to work with. So you basically just want a damp paintbrush. You don't want it dripping or sopping with wetness. And I do apologise about the yawning. I'm not sure when this video is going up, but I had a hard night with my daughter last night, up to the wee hours of the morning. So I'm a bit tired. So just adding some Stabilo oil between the words as well, just sort of trying to make them look as if they belong to the page. Sometimes if you stick something on and it's stark white against your background, it looks like it's sticking out like a sore thumb, but with the Stabilo oil pencil around it, a bit of a smudged border, it creates a shadow and it sort of ties the two pieces together. So just giving the Stabilo oil pencil a good dry. Now it is a water-soluble pencil, so it is water-soluble for life. So if I go and add any wet medium over the top, if I went and did any more little bitty sprays or added paint, you will activate that black pencil again. So it's not like an Inktense pencil that dries permanent. I do have black one of those somewhere. So I decided my journal needs a border, my journal page. I border 99% of my pages, so I just grabbed my black alcohol marker and just decided to give it a bit of a border. This is just a cheap one that I got sent as a freebie with something else I ordered from overseas. So basically any black permanent marker will do. I like the chisel tip on it because I can sort of run it against the edge of the page and get a nice thin black border. So here I just give you a wee whiz of a zoom of an up close. Here's some still pictures at the end. The lighting is a little bit better when I took the still pictures. Thank you for watching, and what do you think of my art journal page? Do you like it? It's one of my favourites for this year. It's different. I like it. Went through an ugly stage with the inks and things, but it came out in the end. So let me know what you think. I love reading all your comments. I do get to reply to them. I know I'm a little behind, but I'll get there eventually. Life. Yeah, Dilla's life. Life has just been cruel at the moment. But hey, that's alright. Good juggling act. Thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye.